vice president then, or the president, or the private citizen, Joe Biden, take money from his son and or brother? That is the end game. Did he take money, yes or no? Well, on his laptop, Hunter Biden, you may remember, says his father was getting money from him for 10 years. Okay, but Hunter Biden's a crackhead, or was, and not the most reliable source in the world, so more evidence is needed. And we'll examine where we are in this very intense investigation that is not going away in a moment. But first, the talking points memo, crime in the USA. So it's a hot topic because millions of criminals are now not being prosecuted at all in the United States of America. And law-abiding citizens like me, and I assume you, are getting a little teed off about it. So last night on News Nation, there was a town hall about crime. And the crowd was in New York, Chicago, and Dallas. I was part of the town hall. So I opened with history because you need context about crime in order to analyze it and find solutions to combat it. Roll the tape. The issue of crime, if you travel the world, the totalitarian nations do not have a problem with it. There's no crime in Saudi Arabia, no crime in China, no crime in Singapore. The punishments are so harsh, the criminals leave. Okay, that's number one, historical fact. When Mao Zedong took over China in 1949, partly because a quarter of the Chinese population was addicted to opium, and that destroyed Chiang Kai-shek's government. When Mao walked in, he proclaimed that if you use opium, two things are going to happen. We'll either send you to a work camp or we'll shoot you against the wall. Didn't take long for the drug problem to dissipate in Red China. So that monologue was presented to say that if you punish people for committing crimes, there will be fewer crimes. Is that Mensa? No. I wasn't advocating we do what Mao Zedong or the other totalitarian countries do. I was pointing out the historical facts. Well, the deputy police chief of Louisville, Kentucky, he didn't quite get it. Roll the tape.
Bill brought up some good points. And fact of the matter is the consequences do matter. Consequences have to be impactful enough that it changes behavior. But when we get to the point where we are looking to Chiang Kai-shek and Mao Zedong for advice on how to handle a crime in a democracy, we have a problem.
All right. So he's just not smart enough, Mr. Humphrey, to understand the historical context of the point I was making. And the SEALs who were clapping in the audience are part of that. They don't really want to solve any crimes, by the way. You have to understand the progressive left believes that criminal behavior is responsibility of America, that America is evil, that we force these people into committing crimes. And you got to keep that in mind. And there are a lot of law enforcement people in the progressive communities. I know it's shocking, but it's true. Now, the second one was a soundbite from the mayor of Durham, North Carolina, former judge, very left-wing person. She blames criminal activity on lack of housing. Go.
Housing is where you start to have a life. And if you don't have basic housing, what kind of life can you have? So, yeah, way back then they may have been the case, but it's not true in Durham, North Carolina right now. And that's my reality, is that housing is an issue. And homelessness is an issue, and it feeds into the other issues.
That's her reality, that the crimes are committed by people who have substandard or no housing. So I had an easy reply to that one. Go. The mayor of Durham, North Carolina, just insulted every law-abiding poor person in this country that has substandard housing. Do you think, madam, that the overwhelming majority of the poor commit crimes? They do not. They never have. And I said in the Great Depression, with the poorest part of our history, crime was low. This is a cultural thing that's going on here, not a housing thing. Now, that woman didn't hear a word I said because she doesn't care. She has her agenda, her reality, and her reality is that we, the taxpayers, should provide housing for everybody. That's it. That's what she wants. That's her nirvana. And if everybody got a nice house, courtesy of other people, then there wouldn't be violent crime or something. Okay, let's go to San Francisco, which is a lunatic asylum. This is a San Francisco Board of Supervisors. Go.
Right now, we have a district attorney in Brooke Jenkins who is prosecuting crimes. You know, we're dealing with still a progressive city. That means progressive judges and progressive juries. But we're turning it around in San Francisco, and I think the comeback is underway here.
No, it's not. It's not even close to being underway. Roll the tape. As for San Francisco, it's a circus. People are moving out. The whole place has collapsed. Tourism won't go there. Conventions won't go there. You're not safe there. And the cops are at fault? What a bunch of crap. So that supervisor, oh, we don't have enough cops. Yeah, sure. You could have army of police, and they would arrest, they take them in, they don't prosecute. Okay, so I was a little testy because I'm pretty much standing on my own. There was an Arizona sheriff who agreed with me, but the rest were very progressive. And a lot of them were activists. And News Nation, sometimes they got to make a better play at getting people and balancing it. So the crowd, I got some applause, but most of them didn't like me. Roll the tape.
I want to say first that the biggest crime in America is that people think like Bill O'Reilly. Really think like, I think that.
Yeah, that's the biggest crime in America. Somebody with solution to violent crime, right here. Because they don't want solutions. All right? They want a virtue signal. They have their own agenda. They want a socialist government or whatever it may be. Okay? They don't want, you give them solutions to crime like forced rehabilitation for drug addicts who commit felonies, right? Forced. You got to go to inpatient rehab if you commit a felony under the influence of drugs. That's a solution. Takes the drug market away. 70% of all street crime committed by drug addicts. No, oh, no, you got to be compassionate. Okay. Pretty much had enough of this. But I'm glad I participated. It was a worthy endeavor by News Nation. At least they're trying, do things. And one more thing, and I didn't bring this up, and I guess I should have. Most of the violent crime in this country takes place in the poor minority neighborhoods. That's where the vast amount of murders and muggings and assaults are. And we look away, never address it. That's racism. Because most of these poor Black, Hispanic, whatever people, whatever ethnicity living in those neighborhoods, all right, they're law-abiding citizens. They just want to go to the grocery store. They just want their kids to walk to school. And we look away. That's racism. And that's the memo. All right, Devin Archer testimony yesterday. Again, people believe what they want to believe. The Democratic Party doesn't care what Joe Biden did vis-a-vis Hunter. They have no interest at all in what he did. If he committed felonies, if he took bribes, and the word bribe is in the Constitution, in the impeachment clause of the Constitution, you should look it up. Democratic Party doesn't care. They don't care at all. All right, now I'm generalizing. I'm sure there are some Democrats that do, but not in Congress. They're not there. So Devin Archer goes in and he says a few things. We'll get the transcript later this week. And one of the things he said was that Joe Biden, then vice president, got on the phone at least 20 times with clients overseas of Hunter Biden, because Archer and Hunter Biden were in the business together. So the Oversight Committee Chairman, James Comer, hears that, and here's what he says. Go.
Well, every day this bribery scandal becomes more credible. I mean, let's look at what Devin Archer testified today. He said that not only was Joe Biden on the phone over 20 times with people, including the Burisma executives, talking about whatever, even though the president denied that he never spoke to any of these people.
Well, he didn't deny that he ever spoke to these people. He denied, all right, speaking to them about business dealings. Okay, so we want to be accurate here. But there's no question that Joe Biden knew his son was selling influence and his brother. That's what they did. to the tune of about 30 million, maybe more. And Biden participated in that. And then in the debates and other places, he goes, no, I had nothing to do with it. Not true. Provable. Did he commit a crime in helping his son sell influence? That's a gray area. But ethically, my God. And again, I'll go back to my opening statement. If they can prove that Joe Biden got any money from his son or brother, it's over. Okay. But in response to the Devin Archer testimony, here come the zombies on the left. Go.
This investigation, Anderson, needs to end, and it needs to end now because what we're doing is badgering a private citizen, and there's no legitimate legislative purpose at all. It's truly stunning to me. This is the taxpayer-funded defense and political arm of Donald Trump.
God almighty. Now, Anderson didn't challenge there, but before that he did. Anderson said the phone calls were, quote, shady. So we are fair here. All right. Nightly news. ABC gave the Hunter Biden Devin Archer story 1 minute 36 seconds. CBS 1 minute 40 seconds. NBC didn't cover. This is shocking. Now, Comcast out of Philadelphia owns NBC News. MSNBC, of course, they would cover it. But NBC News, Lester Holt not covering it? I work with Lester Holt in New York. I know Lester Holt. He had to be ordered not to cover it because Lester Holt's a good newsman. They had to order him not to say anything about it. What has happened to NBC News? My God. It's just incredible. Everybody knows Chuck Norris. He's not just an action star in the movies. He's a vet, family man, big on health. Now, Chuck has spent decades of his life trying every supplement out there. Most did nothing, but a few provided dramatic changes. So Chuck Norris put them together into a drink called Morning Kick. By adding Morning Kick to his diet, Chuck says he feels better at the age of 83 than he has in years. Morning Kick combines Chuck Norris's favorite supplements into one great tasting daily drink. It's got probiotics for weight loss, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for your muscles and joints, as well as several powerful anti-aging supplements. You'll end up with more energy, better digestion, and you'll think more clearly and feel younger. Visit mymorningkick.com/first. That's mymorningkick.com/first. Remember, all individuals are unique, so your results can and will vary. Georgia DA says September 1st, we might do something against Donald Trump. Well, it's only been 2.5 years, Fannie Willis, Fulton County District Attorney. Only 2.5 years. But September 1st, they might do something in Georgia. Special Counsel Jack Smith says, we got new stuff on the cameras at Mar-a-Lago, and we might do additional stuff there. See, it's the death of 1,000 cuts. So Trump, boom, 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 Trump, 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 obscure Biden, obscure Hunter. Okay. And I'm sorry to be cynical, but I've followed this really closely. 80% of this Trump stuff is bull. He shouldn't have taken the documents. And when they asked, he should have given them right back. Yes. But the rest of it, his opinion, that's what they're going after him for, his opinion. Okay, New York Times Siena College poll, very suspect, extremely suspect. Says 91% of Fox News viewers believe Donald Trump has not committed federal crimes. 91%. So this presents a problem for FNC. The same problem they had with the Dominion election situation where they had to pay $800 million in damages to the Dominion voting machine company. So if 91% of your audience believes Donald Trump didn't do anything wrong at all, and you tell that audience, well, he might have, as I just did, the document thing, he was wrong. I don't know how wrong he was. I'm not privy to that. But if I'm a former president, I get a call from the National Archives, hey, you got documents you shouldn't have. I said, okay, come, send a truck, pick them up. All right, that's what I do. But anyway, Fox News, 91%. So they've got to cover the news, all right, in a way that doesn't alienate that 91% because their ratings are already halved from when I was there. And their demographic is about down 75, 80%. My God, that's 25 to 54 viewers. They can't alienate anybody else. So that's the story. Okay, there is a crew out of the University of Michigan monitoring the future, did a study on high school seniors, boys and girls. Here is the study's results. Percentage of boys identifying as liberal or conservative, 2022, liberal 13, conservative 23. So high school senior boys, more conservative than liberal. And the number is low. Most of them don't even know what conservative liberal is, unfortunately. So you're only getting 36% answering. Girls, the opposite. 30% say they're liberal, high school senior girls. Conservative 12, that's because of abortion. Okay, that's where it is. Interesting study out of the University of Michigan. California, which is, I don't know how more extreme the state could get. Now they have a bill, Assembly Bill 852, that says when a criminal is convicted of a crime, you have to take into account his skin color. The bill requires California's criminal courts to rectify alleged racial bias in the criminal justice system by taking into account how historically persecuted minorities are affected differently than others. That means if you are convicted of a crime and you're white, you get a different sentence than if you're convicted of a crime and you're black. All right? This is insane, not equal justice for all, not even close. It's unconstitutional. Now, Gavin Newsom will not sign this, even if it passed the loopy legislature in Sacramento. Because if Newsom signed that, he's done as a national candidate. He could never run for president. So I'm not worried about it. Well, you did the tough thing during COVID. You paid your people and pulled your business through the pandemic. And now you could qualify for up to $26,000 per employee at covidtaxrelief.org. Government funds are available to reward companies with 2 or more employees who stayed open during COVID. This is not a loan. You don't have to pay it back. Nobody knows about this more than the CPAs and tax experts at covidtaxrelief.org. You pay nothing up front. They do the work and share a percentage of the cash they get back for you. Even those businesses who took PPP loans can qualify. Nonprofits and churches as well. So let covidtaxrelief.org help you get up to $26,000 per employee. Visit covidtaxrelief.org. That's covidtaxrelief.org. Here's a final thought. As some of you know, Beach Boys are friends of mine, have been for decades. I grew up with them and love their music. It's timeless. It's summer. So they wandered through Long Island over the weekend or up in New England this week. I mean, it's like they do 180 dates a year, these guys. It's unbelievable. So I went out to see them at the West Hampton Theater last night and a few laughs backstage. Mike Love is 82. Bruce Johnston, who came on very early, is 81. And these guys are unbelievable. Roll the tape. Very gender-specific song. Surfer Girl. Classic. I mean, they did 2 hours. Just the hits. They didn't have to do any filler. It was, and they didn't even have an intermission. It was like boom, 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 catch you wave, and I mean, and the crowd in the beginning, older as you would expect, with some younger people, but mostly older people. And but at the end, they're all dancing around. I mean, some lady with a cane almost decapitated me during Kokomo. I mean, it was like, I got to get out of here. These senior citizens are out of control. Talk about pickleball. I mean, it was, but the boys were really, really good. And it's not just the songs and the concert. It's your life. It's your summer life. I mean, it just evokes so many memories. You come back, and it was an age of innocence, and totally different than today, better than today in most areas. And that's what we're going to talk about in the New York state of mind, how that transition happened. But anyway, Love and Johnson and the guys, excellent job last night. 82 and 81 years old, they still got it. Thanks for watching and listening to the No Spin News. We'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.